Hi everyone, good morning. Welcome to the first lesson of this new course, Tuesdays with Morrie. I'm Abhishek TR and I'll be the presenter today. Here's a little information about who I am. To catch my latest courses, do follow me on Unacademy. In the last class, we had a little discussion about the different characters in this story, Mitch and Morrie. Mitch, who was very successful in his life but led an unsatisfied life. And then we have Morrie, who has a deteriorating health condition but is really positive about life. After the student met his professor after 16 long years, he had decided that he'll be meeting him every Tuesday. And this is how we come into the first Tuesday. Today, the topic being the world and self-pity. How pure were we when we were young and our minds unspoiled? This is a striking claim from Morrie in this chapter when he reveals that he is going to need someone to wipe his ass. While this is a cringeworthy moment for anyone, he claims that he is going to enjoy it. His explanation is rather simple and the one that would actually make you smile. He says, "After all, I get to be a baby again." How often do we have our parents tell us, "I wish you were still a baby"? Mitch is pretty much surprised on how Morrie looks at life. When he asks him about how dependent he has become these days, this is what Morrie had to say. "Well, I have to look at life uniquely now, let's face it. I can't go shopping, I can't take care of my bank accounts, I can't take out the garbage. But I can sit here with my dwindling days and look at what I think is important in life. I have both the time and the reason to do that." Pretty interesting, right? While they were having this conversation, Mitch notices that there were many newspapers near him. This baffles him a lot. Why would it not? After all, here is a guy who is going to be dead soon and still wants to know what is happening around the world. Why? Again, his answer takes you by surprise. He says that because of his terminal illness, he is more drawn towards other people's suffering. For example, when he reads news of people being killed in a shootout. When we were young, how many times have we seen the news of someone's death or a terror attack and asked our parents with the most utmost care, "Mommy, what happened to them?" Or even cry without even knowing why. This is when Mitch starts wondering, seriously, what's wrong with me? Mitch writes on how, even though he is in the news industry, he has never bothered to care about other people's suffering despite being close to so many of them. How do we get lost in our own world so much? Why do we actually earn out it? Death is a great leveler, sure, but why do we have to wait till then to show compassion towards others? Isn't that a little too late? The talks about compassion slowly leads to the conversation to love. This is what Mitch has to say. "Love is the only rational act." And Morrie replies, "The most important thing in life is to learn how to give out love and to let it come in." This gets us to the most important lesson that Morrie tells us in this chapter. We think that we don't deserve it or that we will become too soft because of love. But what is the point of life by just being strong and have no love? Why do we fear of getting hurt and not let go of what is holding us back? The society thinks that growing up means to not think like a child. But it is the child inside you that gives you life. We grow up to make a living, but we should all be a child inside to have a life, isn't it? With that little conversation, the first Tuesday comes to an end and Mitch has to leave. Well, before that, I have a slide for you to ponder upon. Ask yourself, when was the last time you gave out love without expecting anything in return? Think. Think a lot. The second Tuesday. On the second Tuesday, Mitch visits Morrie again. Every time he had to visit Morrie, he had to fly for 700 miles. But here's what. He liked him a lot and he made himself feel better when he was with Morrie. This is one reason he didn't want to miss a single moment with Morrie. When Mitch arrived, Morrie was there in the washroom, taken care by his caretakers. He notices that the newspaper was still there and the newspaper still sucked. I mean, seriously, look at your newspaper, someone. Someone is killed, robbed, murdered, and there's nothing positive about it. When was the last time you felt satisfied after reading a newspaper? When Morrie arrives outside, there's this "don't you feel sorry about yourself" look on Mitch's face. And Morrie understands instantly. He says, "Sometimes in the morning." That's when I moan. I feel around my body, I move my fingers and my hands, whatever I can still move, and I moan what I've lost. The moan the slow, insidious way in which I'm dying. But then I stop moaning. This takes Mitch by surprise again. And then Morrie goes on saying that he doesn't bother at all. He concentrates on the good things in life. I mean, seriously, look at this old man and look at ourselves. Ever felt sorry for about your existence? Well, yeah. Most of us spend the best day of our life feeling pity about us, be it health, relationship, or material possessions. Looking on the brighter side has become more of a fantasy these days, isn't it? Ask yourself for a while and you'll find an answer. Here's how Morrie puts it. I give myself a good cry if I need it, but then I concentrate on all the good things in my life, on the people who are coming to see me, on the stories I'm going to hear. Kinda makes you feel grateful about your life, isn't it? With the deterrent condition of Morrie, the class becomes a little lesser time this time. He talks about trust before Mitch leaves him, and then he says this. Sometimes you cannot believe what you see, you have to believe what you feel. And if you are going to have other people trust you, you must feel that you can trust them too, even when you're in the dark, even when you're falling. Beautifully said line. Anyway, I think this brings us to the last part of our session. And as I said, please take up your notepad that I already asked you to have. And here are some little questions that I want you to answer, if possible. Anyway, are you ready for the questions? Before that, take a deep breath. Like that. Close your eyes and just listen to the questions. Pause the video, start writing about your thoughts. Once you're done, ask yourself, how lucky are you? Here's the first question. When was the last time you felt sorry for yourself and why? Who is that person in your life who showers love without expecting anything in return? And the last question, what would you do to make this world a better place? Anyway, I'll just leave you here and let you ponder upon this and see you in the next class. Thanks a lot. Have a great day and bye-bye.